Well, let's go back to the studio. And, of course, we're in the company of Ian Holloway, Steve Howey and Natalie.
Thank you so much to Alistair Mann and Andy Morrison for the first half commentary. So it is half-time at Selhurst Park and City currently drawing 1-1. Oh, an interesting first half. Perhaps some uncharacteristic mistakes from Rodri. A piece of brilliance again from Kevin de Bruyne. His 99th goal for Manchester City. Will he get the 100th today? I'm sure it will come very, very soon. Welcome back to Matchday Live. Thank you so much for joining us again at half-time. We've got Ian and Steve still with me. So, the first half started and I was barely even sat back down in my seat from getting a bag of crisps and a drink, and Crystal Palace had scored. Steve, before we get on to that, give us your first sort of overall analysis of that first half.
I think Man City were dominant in possession, but I think they found it very difficult to actually break them down. To be fair to Palace, defensively, they've been very solid. Yeah, there's been a couple of chances for City, excuse me, but they did it very well. I mean, I think it's difficult. If they can keep that up for the 90-plus minutes, then fair play to them. But it's very, very difficult. And even though you're a central defender or midfield player and you're shifting across and across, it does tire you out. And it's not only that, it's actually mentally as well, thinking and just the runners and stuff. But obviously their game plan is to keep it nice and tight and then try and get City on the break, which they have done. And they've had a couple of decent chances. I think obviously there was the goal very quickly. I think Ayew has an opportunity where he plays that he's going to have to play it out to Esme, but it's a poor pass. But obviously the lad's in, and then again Ayew has the chance where again he's got options, but he takes it and hits the crossbar. The pass back from Rodri with the goalkeeper. What a piece of skill that is, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Pep will be too concerned. I don't think the players will be concerned. I think he'll just be like, we need to just keep possession, keep at them, keep at them. I think their manager will be delighted with what they showed, but can they keep it up for another 45-plus minutes? I don't think so. But having said that, you know, 1-1 probably is a fair reflection.
So the goal, Palace's goal came very, very early on in the first couple of minutes of that first half. Mateta, who scored in the reverse fixture in December, who we talked about before the game as well. City were caught off guard. How would you describe what happened, Ian?
Well, we can say it's City's fault, but I'd like to give the credit to Palace. I think their managers worked on something slightly different. You know, they've got 4 across midfield. They've got their centre forward Mateta coming back, and the second it goes from one of our centre halves to the next one, someone's releasing and going to them. Not everybody does that, right? And that's what happened. John Stones came out, tried to play a pass. He put it the wrong side of the defender's side rather than in the safe area. They stepped in and won it, and then he never got back in. So poor old Diaz had to try and come over and get on Mateta, and with his pace and with his size, and to be fair, he hit the post and put it in, so it was a great finish. But it's very unusual to leave that space and not be there first as the defender. Very similar to the goal they scored against Man City at Man City's ground. But credit to Palace, they're pressing as high up as they possibly can rather than going and sitting back, and it's reaped them probably 4 chances. And I wouldn't blame City's players. I think it's an extra pressure that they haven't. The manager will know that. He will tell them at half-time. He will then correct what they're doing, and I expect the score that I predicted, 3-1, to maybe not even be enough. You know, I think Man City might get more than that.
So City then equalised with a goal from Kevin de Bruyne, his 99th goal for City. I mean, wow. He's, 17, 18 yards out on the left-hand side, strikes it beautifully into the side netting in the top right-hand side of the goal. I mean, it was a stunning strike from him.
It's a poacher's stamp, which he's got to aim for, because the goalkeeper is a big goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper. As soon as he gets the ball and turns, I actually shouted goal.
He did, yeah.
And he stuck it right in the top bins. I mean, he couldn't have put it... If he puts it anywhere else, I think the goalkeeper saves it. And it's a wonderful, wonderful strike. But whilst it's a magnificent goal, somebody like Kevin de Bruyne was like, well, it's Kevin de Bruyne. You know, anybody else, you'd be like, oh, my Lord, that's a worldie, which it was a worldie, but it doesn't surprise you because of the quality that he has.
He did say that as well.
Yeah.
Second he got it, and he then he went, that's a goal. And, oh, blimey, you're right, mate.
I'm so happy to see Kev scoring those again, because he's been quiet by his standards for a few games now, Ian. So to have him, you know, just a little reminder again, never doubt the man.
You can't be a genius every week, you know.
But you are, Ian.
No, I'm not. I wish I was. Nah, the truth is that his talent is God-given. It's incredible. And let me tell you, he hates losing. He hates being brought off. But he puts up with it here, and quite rightly so. He is a genius. The pass that he put Haaland through in this game, and that's the shock, isn't it, really? We haven't mentioned it yet. He didn't actually bury that, you know. The pass he put through is genius, honestly. The weight on it is... What I love, he slightly hit a ball wrong to Oscar Bob, and he said sorry to Oscar. Whereas some great players that I've seen, and I've had to remind them, hang on a minute, that was your fault. Mm. Whereas your boys are proper men as well, so that's why I believe you'll have enough about you, the honesty, because it's not easy to win every week, and it's not easy when you're favourites every week. So Palace are doing great. The fans are there. They lift their team. They're not getting on at them. So this is a tough challenge, and we knew it would be. But I'm more than happy with the performance again. I think it's a lesson for us football people to see how well and how easy they play and how hard it is to mark. Yeah, they're still only 1-1, but don't hold your breath. I think it'll be coming in this second half.
Let's talk about that Erling Haaland opportunity, the ball from Kevin de Bruyne to Erling. It feels like, Steve, I mean, we adore Erling Haaland. He's the best striker in the world. It feels like Erling Haaland of last season would have put that one away, though. The
thing is, he's not going to score every chance. He's not a robot. You know, as a human being, and he'll score some great goals and he'll miss some big chances. We've seen him this season miss some big chances. But for me, the worrying thing is if he's not in those positions to get those chances. I think that's when I would start to worry. And then somebody like him, you know, he's missed a chance. All right, I'll get another one. And then the next one he'll probably put away. He might miss the next one. For me, I'm never, ever kind of worried about him because I just think he is a goal-scoring machine. He'll just miss chances, but he'll score more than he misses. And I think the goalkeeper does quite well. I mean, he does take his touch right. I think Andy had mentioned something, you know, could he just wait for the goalkeeper to go down? I think the goalkeeper actually, whilst he was sliding, his upper body was still up, so it would have been a difficult one to dink over him. You know, everybody looking at that will probably say, oh, well, he could have done this and he could have done that. But until you're in that position, he's obviously seen a spot, he's gone for it. Give credit to the goalkeeper. It's a good save.
I like that. I like that optimistic attitude, absolutely. If I'm just going to have one other negative before I go optimistic, I promise you. It's uncharacteristic couple of mistakes from Rodri today, Ian. I mean, really uncharacteristic. You know, another one, he's a human, he's not a machine. There was a particular one as well where Ayew hit the bar after a mistake. And then that one that you mentioned, we'll talk about Stefan Ortega in just a second. But, yeah, what do you think going on with Rodri today?
Again, it's where you are in the league, where you are in the season, the games you got coming up. This one is, can we win this one? You know, they're honestly, they're doing their work. They know it's going to be tough. And every now and again, Palace have a player in a slightly different position than you're used to, and that can catch you. And the call to Rodri, man on, might not have happened. Mm. And it could be as simple as that. But again, I give the closing of Ayew the credit. I don't blame Rodri for that because he was in a slightly different position. They are doing something different than I've seen done to Man City in a few weeks or in a few months even, you know. So well done to Palace for coming up to this. They got to try and do something because you are so good. Your players are so good and they have forced a couple of errors. The hardest thing for me with my Palace hat on is they didn't take that chance. That could be their last one. And if you don't get that chance against Man City, if you're going to win 2-1, you'll probably only get 2 chances. You better take both of them. And they haven't. So that's why I'm saying I'm very confident that I think you'll win this game. Mm.
I want to talk a little bit more about those Palace tactics, but just quickly, Stefan Ortega. Oh, my goodness, I screamed through the nerves, but also because of the skill, just... Try and explain to us, in that situation, with that pressure, in that moment, just how good that touch behind his back foot was.
I think it's just an instinct for them. I mean, obviously the goalkeepers work. I mean, the goalkeepers nowadays, they have to be good with the feet. But that was just something on a different level because he's let it kind of go past his body and then he lets his leg go behind him and he drags it back using his studs. Now, the chances of him actually catching it up with his studs to get where it was is so slim because there was more percentage of him sliding, his studs kind of sliding over the top of the ball and the ball rolling away from him and the player putting it in the net. So, I mean, wow. I mean, we were kind of, I mean, I was shouting but laughing at the same time and amazed at how he's actually managed to do that. But what a piece of improvisation and skill.
It's unbelievable. I don't know why these goalkeepers keep wanting me to have a heart attack, though, with these moves. Like, it was unbelievable. On the Palace side, so, Ian, we know coming into this game they've not been in great form. I think they've won one of their last 8 games. They are playing, you know, so well in that first half. What's changed from the last 8 games? Is it a case that they've just risen their game, given the fact that it's the champions that have come? Yeah,
I think so. I think the work that Oliver and his staff would have had to do to get where Man City's players are, and this is what they do, into them, it's been an awful lot of work, but they've had enough time to do it. The lads have done it very, very well. What I believe they're doing is a bit different, is how narrow their whole midfield 4 is. And Mateta's coming off, so you've got 5 people, but that 5 are working together. They've got 5 at going across at the back there, so very bravely, not worrying about the wide men too much. They're trying to win it when Man City have this brilliant timing of going out wide. If they can't get in, they'll go back. They're pressing when you go back, which not everybody does. So I think the manager, the players are grasping it, and it's a slightly different proposition than you're used to. And I think your manager will know that, his staff will know that, and he will be talking about that now and correct it. So Palace needed to be in front now if they were going to win this game, in my opinion.
I think they would have been working this week as well on basically what we call a trigger. So therefore, if they'll just be doing this all through the week, and then if there's a little thing where you think, right, we can all go, then they've gone. Yeah. And then that's how they've kind of smothered City and managed to sort of block them out a little bit. But to be fair, I mean, I sort of said to Ollie, this is the best I've seen Palace start in a long, long time. And I think it is a case of when the big boys come to town, you know, everybody kind of ups the game. Normally, City are kind of, well, we expect this, and then we'll just, you know, just let's calm down. Let's not get too excited. It's 1-1. You know, the game's still there to be won. And I agree with Ollie. I think it will be a case of let's just settle it down for the first 10, 15 minutes and then we'll start to play again. And it is going to be difficult for Palace to keep that structure for the 90-plus minutes. And then we'll see where we go from there. But I still expect City to win it.
Yeah, you said 3-0. You're going to go 3-1?
Well, I can't do anything. I've got to go with a 1. I can't go 3-0.
You sticking with your 3?
I'm sticking with my 3.
You sticking with your 3-1?
Yeah, I am, yeah. I expected Palace to be able to score.
Yeah.
Because every now and again you get a bit of an itch, and Palace seem to have been Man City's itch for a while. You know, they have got the ability there to cause a problem. If they score again, if Palace managed to score again, I'd be a lot more concerned. You know, I didn't believe they'd equalise last time, but I think it's City's game if they keep doing what they're doing.
Ian, quickly tell us, where are they standing? Obviously, you know the ground. Where are they standing? Well, obviously, that's difficult for you to see. Are they like porta cabins? Yeah, did the players come out? Yeah, down the side of the stadium?
They've got a whole new dressing area, there's porta cabins, and it's wonderful. I did goals for Josh there, and my celebrity team weren't in that one. We were in the other dressing rooms, but their dressing rooms were so small, they didn't fit in with Premier League standards, so they've smashed 2 of them into one for the home team, and they had a bit of dead land at the end and put these wonderful, not even lean-tos, but
the width of the tunnel's about the same, because that's what it used to be years ago.
Is that the tunnel?
That's the tunnel, yeah.
So but the players...
Your lads are by the side of the stand there. Do you know what I mean?
Great. Love that insight. I was wondering why they were sort of standing there and not in the tunnel. Thank you very much. Ian Holloway, thank you. Steve, thank you as always. We'll be back here at full time, hopefully talking about Manchester City when you can see the players are coming out now. Get your second half commentary on the Manchester City app with Alistair Mann and with Andy Morrison. A big 45 minutes of football coming up, Blues. Come on.
Well, thank you, Natalie. Welcome back to Selhurst Park. The City players just coming from that corner of the ground, just outside of the changing rooms, and making their way out onto the field. You know, City have now fallen behind in 13 of their 30